Hey everyone, before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you relate to any of this. If you've been through the apartment search process, then you know exactly what it's like. If you've ever had to do it in a city like New York and you've succeeded, please give me some tips down below. But basically, I'm in search of a new home. I have until summer 2023 to find my new place, my new space, my new home, and I'm going to take you on a journey with me. These are just some clips of me walking around different neighborhoods, and I was able to find 2 roommates online. Long story short, it didn't work out because one of the roommates didn't like the apartment we had agreed on, and we could not secure a 3rd roommate. So I basically had to inform the agent in charge of the listing that we would not be moving forward and we would be going our separate ways. It was a great learning experience about what it takes to make sure you're in alignment with the people that you need in order to get approved for a place and actually make it into the space, getting the keys, putting down the deposit and the deposit, paying first month's rent, etc., etc. So this is just the beginning days when I was looking. I would take weekends to really take time and devote to finding different areas. This was the first apartment I really found online. I used the app Spare Room. This situation was basically a huge home in the Bronx. The owner of the property had multiple rooms, and he ran his apartment really strict. There were no outside guests, no visitors. Like basically you would have to let him know ahead of time. And this room, I believe, was going for maybe $800. And it was a shared bathroom situation. It just reminded me of a fancy hostel. So that's why I liked it, to be honest. But it was just too far away from me. For me, it was too far away from transportation and getting to work. But the space, the situation could have worked out for me, but it didn't. But as you can see, he takes really great care of his property. He makes sure everyone has what they need. There are new appliances. Like, you definitely would feel safe here. And the next property I found on Craigslist, this room was going for $850, utilities included. This was the landlord who actually had multiple properties and was trying to convince me to start buying property in order to stop being a renter. The situation was cool. The only thing was that I would have to share the bathroom with someone, and there wasn't really any official living room space because she decided to make a flex room, a 3rd bedroom, by putting up a wall. And yeah, I mean, this was the kitchen. The kitchen was cute. This was in basically a 70 unit space. So there were a lot of tenants in this building. I really do like a smaller number of people in a building, to be honest. But it wasn't giving me the homey vibes that I wanted. But in order to like rest and like kind of just have a place and a roof over your head, this place definitely did the job. And this bedroom was really beautiful for what it was giving. The space was nice. It was a nice size room, not huge and not small. And for $850, that's such a great price, honestly. And the landlord didn't seem like a micromanager kind of landlord. So I really like that aspect of the deal. But yeah, I just wasn't in a rush to just say yes to anything. And I think this is when I realized that I could really take my time and really get everything I wanted before deciding to move to a new place. I ended up in Astoria, Queens, and I fell in love with the neighborhood. I wanted to be somewhere very close to Manhattan. Basically, my real goal is to be 50 minutes or less to the city, and I thought Astoria was a great neighborhood.
How many people? 3 in the apartment?
I believe this room was it was over $900. It felt like an 11 by 11. I found this on Craigslist, and actually the landlord was surprised when I showed up and was like, that wasn't even my post. So we discovered it was actually some type of scammer. This was room share number 4. I found this, I believe, I found it online, maybe on Street Easy or so, but it wasn't even finished. It was going for maybe $12.79. It was a rent stabilized unit. And one of the biggest con was that the broker fee was $2,000. So it was going to cost maybe $5,000 to move in here. It was like first month, security, broker fee. It was just ridiculous. But it was really far from work, so it wasn't even going to work out anyways. And it was in a unit similar to the other one. This was the unit that my roommates and I decided to apply to, and we got approved. It was 3 bed, 2 bath in Brooklyn. I wasn't the biggest fan of the apartment, but I realized that it would just be a 12-month lease and it would not be forever. And that the apartment did what it needed to do. It gave us the support that we would need for 12 months. Here's one of the rooms, glass sliding doors, a balcony, nice sized closet. Every room had a ceiling fan and installed AC units. As you will be able to see, there are no windows outside of the bedrooms. So there's a lot of light to mimic sunlight. The 2 bathrooms were nice. The 3 bedrooms were about equal size to each other. I wasn't the biggest fan of the bathrooms, but yeah, I don't know. It just was not my favorite. And ironically enough, it was the only apartment that worked out for us. We saw like 10 apartments, and this was the one that ended up being the clear winner based on our criteria. I currently live in a space that's very spacious and like homey vibes, and I just was trying to find something similar to that. This was a room that had about 3 closets, and it was facing the street. Yeah, it was an interesting situation for sure. This was another apartment that we saw. It was quite expensive and quite small. Like, I felt claustrophobic in this space, and the current tenants, while we were viewing, still had their stuff in this space. So it gave us a realistic view of what to expect. This was another apartment where it's expensive. It looks like modern luxury, but you just know that you're being overcharged. Like, I should not be paying what I would be paying for this and not getting the most out of it. This was a new apartment area. I'm just kind of looking around. Okay, so let's see. I had showed up early, actually, so I was waiting for the landlord to arrive.
Start recording now.
And then I eventually was greeted, and the landlord showed me this 3 bedroom, 2 bath space. I believe this was going for $2,900 total monthly rent. And yeah, the living room was beautiful. This unit had beautiful amount of sunlight, natural sunlight, windows. It just was a bit far.
kitchen has
To me, it was a bit far, but I mean, this was an apartment that was gonna work. This would have been the bathroom that I would have shared with another roommate, and then the primary bedroom would had an ensuite bathroom for the roommate that was willing to pay a bit more and had a bigger budget.
What I really wanted to know was how
I was joking with the landlord quite a bit, but I was just very happy that everyone had big windows. This house had a lot of windows, which I loved because this house was not attached to the other house, so there was space. And everyone had a nice sized closet. This was the primary bedroom with the ensuite bathroom. The roommate who was willing to pay a little bit more really wanted a bathtub, so this one had the bathtub, not just a standing shower. And this came with a balcony, which was cute, like for summers. That would be nice.
Those are newer? Yeah, I mean, the rooms were okay. They were nice. They were okay.
Okay, so I had found another property. I believe this one was listed for $29.99, so literally just under $1,000 or under $3,000. This was a unit, room share number 9, that was used as an Airbnb. It was on the second floor, and I met the property manager, who was basically the landlord's nephew, and he showed me the unit. It had 2 bathrooms and 3 bedrooms. This looked small, but it actually was nice. It could have fit 2 people. And I'll be completely honest, out of all the apartments that I saw, this one felt like home to me. This one felt like home, but the bedrooms felt a little smaller. I think it's because of the size of the beds, but this bathroom would have been connected to that bedroom, and the kitchen was just nice. I thought the fridge was awkwardly placed right there. But I mean, maybe we could have adjusted that if this place had worked out for us. But there was an option to keep the furniture or remove it. And these 2 bedrooms were side to side next door to each other. It was really interesting how basically all of these apartments, when we were looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath situation, we kind of knew like 2 bedrooms would be connected in between or by between a wall, right? And there would be only 1 bedroom on the opposite side. It would have been nice to find something where it was like a triangle, so all the bedrooms were kind of separated and had space. But that's just the way it kind of was with the design. There would always be 2 people next to each other and 1 person on the opposite side. But this apartment, out of all the apartments, was by far my favorite, or to me was like overall, it had everything. It had like the highest points. But yeah, it wasn't perfect either in terms of like the price was $29.99, and it had just been listed, and I was over here trying to negotiate, trying to see if they would go down to $27.99. But they knew what they had, and they knew they could just wait it out and find the person or group that would be willing to pay the price that they listed it as. So this one did not work out, but it was nice to view, and it was nice to talk to the nephew of the landlord. And also the agent wasn't willing or didn't send me the application to apply when I had asked about it, and I had to follow up a day later, and I literally was like, did you all not want to send it to us? Like, what's going on there? And then he sent it, and that kind of just rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't like that, so we did not apply to this one. But I'm sure they're fine, and they found tenants to occupy the space. But yeah, this one was a vibe. And then this one was probably the worst apartment we viewed out of the list. This was on the first floor, and it was the design, the layout of the space was probably very unique, but to me didn't make a lot of sense. The bathroom or the kitchen was nice. It was fine, but it was really quick. I had told the person that was showing me this that I kind of had to be somewhere else at another viewing. So it was super, super quick. I was just looking in and out. The stove kind of looks small, doesn't it? But I was trying to get a good view of everything. I viewed this by myself. This was a 3-bed, 1.5 bath. So this one did not have a shower. I think this was gonna be like the living room area. I was trying to imagine what this could be like.
Yeah, no worries. It's
And
the living room.
then I went to go see the rooms. So I quickly noticed that none of the actual bedrooms had lights, ceiling lights. So the only kind of light coming into the room would be from the window. And since it was on the first floor and the positioning of the apartment, like one of the bedrooms was literally facing like the trash, like where the dumpsters were. So I didn't like that at all. And yeah, they were just really small rooms. And I believe this one was maybe 2,800 to 2,950 or 2,750. I don't really know, but it was within our
Third room.
price range to go see, I guess. But yeah, this one was not a fit at all. And then come to find out after I left that they've been having a rat problem on the first floor. So yeah, we did not pursue that one. And then this was another apartment. I believe this was going for
Like paint.
2,900 or 32. I'm not too sure. Maybe 3,500. It was going for 3,500, pretty high. And yeah, I was like, this is not, to me, this didn't make sense to list for 3,500. But I guess the landlord had done some improvements and thought it was gonna go for 3,500. And also we're looking in the winter, so there was like a big deck upstairs, where like a sun deck where you could like chill outside and have benches or chairs. And it's the winter, like nobody's really using that. So maybe if they had listed during the summer, it would have definitely gone quickly. This was the huge room upstairs with the attached deck. I'm walking out right now, looking around. This is really nice. Like I can imagine in the summertime just chilling up here. Or whoever has this bedroom would have all of this. So it would be worth it to pay a little bit more to have all this extra space, which is super nice. And then they had a bathroom, which was here. I believe the landlord spent a little bit more up here, so that's why the price went up or stayed up.
We came upstairs and what's this closet? Is that what you want?
Okay, this was one of those properties that looked amazing online, but it was not great in person. This was a 3-bed, 3-bath unit, and the current tenants were there, so we were able to ask questions and kind of see what was going on. The rooms were very tight and literally right next to each other, but every room had a bathroom. I think if every room had a twin-size bed, this would have been more spacious, but it just felt so full, so busy because there was a lot going on. And they charged for laundry usage in the building, and everyone had access to the rooftop deck, which was nice. But I just was not a fan, and I was a bit disappointed that people were literally overcharging renters for this. But what stood out to me was the fact that each room had their own bathroom. But I literally I'm okay with one bathroom if everybody gets the space they need and the full access kitchen, etc. This was the rooftop, which was nice, but it just didn't feel like the right fit. So we passed on this one as well.